Welcome back to the Sunday Roast, round 11. It's been a good round of footy. It's currently half-time of the Bachelors game, Adelaide versus Brisbane, where the Crows are up by 11 points at home. Das, welcome back to Sunday Roast. How are you, sir?
I'm good, mate. It has been a very good round of football. A lot of upsets. It's making the competition look a lot even. And I went out to look at the schedule for the upcoming weeks, and I'll tell you what, Jev, there is good games left, right, and centre coming up. If you're a punting man, fuck if I know what you're going to do, because I'll tell you what, there are so many. It's so hard. You can't take head-to-head bets. That's the number one thing that we've learned over the last about month, Jev. You cannot take a head-to-head bet in this league. But no, it's been very interesting, and some pretty familiar patterns with some sort of teams, and some other teams are just really dropping off.
Yeah, 100%. West Coast are fucking VFL side, basically, waffle side. The basketball today, I know we both watched it. Just going to touch on it quickly. That was one of the best fucking games I've ever watched. That second half was an absolute roller coaster with the Celtics winning legit with 0.1 seconds to go. Did you watch that game?
I did. Can you imagine? And then just icing those 3 free throws, but the fact that it was 2.1 seconds on the clock and then they put it back to 3 seconds,
Yeah.
and then that was the difference.
I did see that, and that was the difference. Marcus Smart's shot was actually pretty good. That nearly went in. That bowled in and out. And then just Derek White just finishes them, and now they're going for 7 in Boston. And, geez, I just can't see Boston losing at home in a Game 7. But
I actually couldn't believe Derek White's haircut. I thought he just wore it and it slicked back, but it's genuinely receding back to where he wears it.
very Stephen A. I think that headband's just too tight, isn't it? I don't know.
Just shave it. Like, what mop is that?
All right, this is funny. All right, so let's get into the footy. So the first game of the weekend, the 100K Cup, the Chromosome Cup, the Swans beat the Blues by 26 points. We watched this game together, Das. Justin McInerney kicked the first at 41-1. I'll let you go first on whatever you want to talk about, so go for it. Floor is yours.
All right, Jeff. You know what I feel like being a Carlton supporter? I feel like being an investor, all right? Work hard, have my money. And it's been a few years, but really started to buy in about 2008. They know we're coming. 3 first-round picks. Cruiser, Cribbs, Murphy. All right, so we've got all these guys. Sorry, Gibbs. And we've got all these guys. I'm like, I'm going to invest my money in. And then the stock goes down. But the investors keep saying, no, don't worry about it. Next year's our year. So I put a little bit more money in. My money then goes back. Here we go. 2010, we get a little bit more. So I keep going up. I keep putting in. And then we had last year, Jev. We finally showed we're 1 point away from missing the finals. 1 point. You know what? So I've done this off season. I've worked double overtime. I've done everything. I've put all my hard-earned cash, everything into the Carlton stocks. Everything. I can't wait for the season to come through. And we've already plummeted. The stocks have gone absolutely bust, Jev. And I cannot feed my family or myself.
You've just doubled kept losing.
Just lies on lies on lies. No, trust me, we're going to be better this year. We were deplorable, Jev. This has been like 5 weeks in a row where we can't move the footy. We cannot kick a goal. And I don't know, no one's putting their hand up for it. It's all like, oh, no, look, we still like what we're doing in some patches of the game. We're shit house.
Yeah.
We're in prime time and we fucking suck, Jev, and I'm over it.
Yeah. No, I probably couldn't agree more. Like, taking my Swans hat off and watching the Blues on Friday night,
we stink.
You should have smashed us, really. You dominated parts of quarters. You had great looks at goal. Mackay gets that old Mackay situation is starting to get embarrassing. Like, everyone says, wrap your arms around him, pat him on the back, get him through it. He's obviously struggling with it mentally and stuff, but I don't know, mentally doesn't pay the bills, does it, sometimes? Like, mentally doesn't help the members that have paid for their memberships and invest everything into the club. You don't go at mental health. That's not what I'm saying. It's just like, for what the money he's on, 700, 800, whatever it is a year, you just got to go back and kick some goals, don't you?
Well, as you said, what do you do at this point? He's like, do you get someone else into the club? Just anything, because whatever he's doing, it's not working. There's no routine with all the players. And especially we've said it, and Carlton have done it all year, that scoreboard pressure that we don't put on, and it just kills us. Like, if you get a couple of goals early, you have that buffer that where you can start to take the game on a little bit more, because if you do turn it over, They kick one, that's fine. You've still got a couple goals up.
Yeah,
But when you start not converting, then everyone starts to tighten up.
you definitely built. If you're 5 goals up, and then it's all your big body mids just going to work when you're 5 goals up. It's Cripps, it's Chera, it's Hewitt, and it's Kennedy just putting their head over the ball. You can play it slower and then kick long into your forward line and create contest after contest with the lead. But you just don't look like you can come from behind at all. You're just not built with leg speed. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how Voss is going to fix it.
But there's no spark. You know when you watch teams play with spark, like Collingwood always have that spark.
Yeah,
Port Adelaide, like you see the Crows in games this year. Brisbane, we have no spark.
yeah,
Like I've been to like 5 games this year, and the crowd's just like everyone's waiting to go up and
yeah,
cheer. There's just nothing.
yeah.
There's nothing. Now I've got a quick question for you, Jeff. Who makes the finals first? Carlton, Hawthorn, GWS, or Gold Coast?
Carlton, Hawthorn, GWS, or Gold Coast. Right. So Carlton, let's say 5 A graders, but way too many C and D graders. Hawthorn, when they do make the finals, they're going to be playing in prelims, but I still think they're probably not next year, and then it's maybe the year after. So let's give them 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
GWS, I absolutely love the way they play.
So do I.
I think they can come back into it as soon as next year. They're fucking, as long as they don't lose anyone this off season, they're a good team. I like GWS, and then Gold Coast, they have to be close. I don't know what they do up there. They should make it this year. They shot themselves in the foot starting zipping 3. They should be making it this year.
And if you said at the start of the year one of those teams would be ahead of Carlton,
Yeah,
fucking joke.
makes you.
It is an absolute joke. Now, Jeff, we have been talking about a little bit some trades. So I've got a trade for you.
Yeah.
Who says no? All right. Let's just say Carlton finished near the bottom. Say we got pick 6 or 7. All right. Who says no? Carlton trade Harry Mackay, Mitch McGovern, and our first round pick to West Coast.
Yeah.
For pick 1.
Mitch McGovern, Harry Mackay, and your first round pick for pick 1. Fuck, I like it. I do like it. West Coast get.
He's with Harry Mackay as well. Is what I was saying. It's like, you know when you look at Bud and like he's just past it? Harry's not past it. He's just between the ears.
I don't know if you saw the Sunday footy show day. Remember that? You could tell Carlton were going to lose when Curnow marked that one in the middle and he turned around and kicked that 70-metre chiseler right on Mackay's chest and he dropped it. He went at it like this or like that. And they said on the Sunday footy show, they go, he's that low on confidence that he nearly dropped that because he didn't want to take the shot at goal. Like,
you say every time he gets it, he's shitting himself.
You think Tony Lockett in their prime or just guys that are on fire, they just come out. Fev would have just come out 2 straight arms and just mitted that and gone and kicked his 6th without even thinking. No, he doesn't. Yeah, it's fucking hard. So I like Harry Mackay. I like the idea of Harry Mackay. I still think he's a good football player, but
no, he's just not there between the ears.
Yeah, I think Fev needs to get down there and teach him how to kick.
Oh, I think Fev needs to put the jersey back on.
All right, let's talk about the Swans for a minute. So, fucking good win from the Swans. I was very fucking happy to see them win at home. We haven't been that good at home this year. Win on a Friday night. It's always good to see your team win on a Friday night so you can relax for the weekend. Considering Carlton beat us last year. Curnow kicked 7 on us, and that's when we had the 2 McCartan brothers and Rampy, and none of those 3 played, and our best midfielder, Callum Mills, didn't play. And we still got the job done. It's a good win. Chad Warner's starting to seriously become. We all know he's a great player, but now he's keying together some good games in a row. He's had 29 and 2 on the weekend. Like probably outplayed Sam Walsh, who he plays a bit like. Hits the scoreboard a bit more, and he's probably a bit better of a meters gained break lines player than Sam Walsh is. Sam Walsh is a run all day, get the ball over the field. I think Chad Warner can be a better forward half player than
he's definitely more offensively attacking. Sam's very much more inside, feet
Yeah,
back.
he's an everything, do it all sort of mid. And Nick Blakey was absolutely sensational in that last quarter. Absolutely love Nick Blakey. he, off the halfback, when he starts running, how hard would he be to tackle? He sort of just runs in zigzags and
Just
just gets
asking
losing. He hits full speed and he kicks on weird angles. I absolutely love having him on my team. So that was a great win for the Swans. I was trying to be a Swans nuffy before, and I thought, so we got the bye this week. I went and had a look at our schedule ahead to see if we can still make the finals, and thought we come back from the bye. If we get maybe Tom McCartan back, I can't see Paddy McCartan playing again this year. If we get Tom McCartan, Dane Rampy back, Mills might be a week or so. So we come back, we've got St Kilda on a Thursday night. So that's probably a 50-50 game at the SCG. If we win that, then we've got Brisbane at the Gabba, so that's a tough one. So maybe lose that. Then we got the Eagles at the SCG, so we win that. And then it's Geelong at the SCG, where all our demons fucking come home to roost. So that could be the season if we're making finals or not, if we can beat Geelong at the SCG. But I think they beat us by 80 points and 91 points the last two times they've played us. So they would come into that game fucking ready to win.
Looking very beatable at the moment, though.
Yeah, but Pat Dangerfield has said a few things. He was on the commentary of Pies North today. He said he's going to try and play next week. And if he doesn't, they've got the bye and he's 100% come back.
Okay.
And they keep losing games, so they haven't got the luxury of dropping any more games the rest of this year. If they want to win the flag, they nearly got to just keep winning. So I reckon that it's funny. Friday, 30th of June, so it's actually on my birthday. That is going to be the season for the Swans, and could be a crappy old birthday. So I do like I like what I've seen the last couple of weeks. It might be too little, too late, but actually, well, we should have lost to North. I can't see us making the finals, but it's always good to see your team win on Friday night. So the buddy bet promotion we did, Das, Jake Lloyd, 35 touches, one on the ground. I don't know who won the big share of 10K, how many people won it, but that was a good pick if you had Jake Lloyd. I sort of tipped something like that. I took Nick Blakey, but I sort of said, Swans half-backer to win it. Blakey had 26, Warner 29, Walsh 1 goal on 31. And then, there wasn't really any big games. Oh, Justin McInerney on a wing had 2 and 21. He would have been paying a heap for 2. I'll have a quick look at that.
And Dosser, he just keeps playing well, Jeff.
I love Doss. I reckon he's starting now that he plays every. So Justin McInerney paid 16 to 1 for 2. Geez, that would have been nice. Sam Wicks also kicked 2, paid $4.90. Where's Tom? See, we need Tom. If Tom Papley starts firing, we can get going. Was there any? There wasn't one. Oh, Jesse Motlop kicked 2. He paid $3.80 for 2. And what did Jake Lloyd pay for 35, Dars? 23 to 1 for 35. That would have been fucking nice. All right, next game, the game that broke your heart. Hawthorn versus St Kilda. The Hawks pinch it at the end by 10 points. Mitch Lewis kicks the first. I'll see what he paid. But you go ahead, Dars. What do you want to say about this game?
Right. So obviously we do Here Comes the Money. Put 1,000 in the account. And then we go through, put our bets on, and at the end of the season, we see where we're at. Now, the whole point of it is that you're just not continually betting. If you lose, you're out. Your 1,000's done. So, Jeb, I'm officially done. I got a $50 bonus bet, so you can take that a bit under $100 a week. We're at round 11. All right. So, last week, I had Richmond head-to-head in a multi, and Essendon pinched it. In this one, the thing is, Jeb, you put in the work, you do the study. All right. I had the Saints head-to-head against the Hawks in this one. All the other legs are going to get up. All the other legs. Saints just took care of GWS away. Hawthorn are a pretty average side, but they show some promise. You see how good the Saints are at Marvel, and you're just like, this is just an easy win. $1.22 up by 20 points, 4 minutes to go. And the Hawks kick the last 5 of the game, Jev, and absolutely break my... I genuinely don't know what I'd do to deserve this. I put in the work. You try and do all this, and fate obviously didn't want me to win that game. But, yeah, very disappointing. But James Sicily, Jev, one of the better games you will see this year. Obviously, it's been pumped up all weekend about how good he was. But one of the best things, Jev, that I think that he did on the game. So, obviously, they spoke about Max King, a little bit of flopping. Yeah. He got a free kick. Got a free kick from 50. He got bumped over, milked it a little bit. So, the umpire's already gone, you come with me, 50 metres. They'd already kicked about the first 2 or 3 goals. And James Sicily comes up, fuck it, we've already got 50, you may as well give him 100. Then as he comes past, Sicily floors him again. Yeah. And then, so he was already kicking a goal from the goal line anyway. And then after Max King kicked it, about 3 or 4 other Hawks players got into him. That shows that they're a fucking tough side. They're not just going to get pushed over. They're not going to get bullied. And after that, and especially if you want to go watch that last quarter, they fucking dominated.
Yeah.
Like, they did not stop. All their young mids are unbelievable. Connor Nash is having a great season. Newcomb was good. Warple, Day was a little bit more quiet for him, but having Mitch Lewis back in the side, Jev, another big target up forward, and Luke Bruce, who I want to touch on, he's kicked just under 500 goals as a small forward. He'd have to be probably top 10 small forwards of all time. I know that seems like a pretty big thing, but you name me 10 more people that have small forwards that kicked over 500.
Yeah.
And in part of his career, he's had to sit behind Buddy, Roughhead, Cyril, and Gunston, and he's almost kicked 500 goals. He's unbelievable. He kicked 3 goals, and the Hawks are definitely going places, Jeff. They're fucking good to watch.
Yeah, I heard on Triple M there's only 52 players in the history that have kicked over 500 goals
There
because
you go.
Brian Taylor was getting around himself. He's like, oh, how many people have kicked 50 goals? True, man. I'm one of them. And he's like, oh, there's only 52 in the history. And it's like, to be one of 52 as a 180-ish size forward, undrafted, like, that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. 4-time premiership player, or he didn't win the 08, 3-time premiership player. Played with all those champions, sort of played second fiddle to him, but he's still come away with 500 goals. And he's still doing it now. A Hawthorner at the bottom of the ladder. He is a superstar. You can tell he's a good culture guy. You can tell Sam Mitchell really didn't want to get rid of him.
No, I think obviously we're getting rid of everyone else. They had to keep him.
Yeah.
Either him or Gunston.
Yeah.
And it seems like he just fits that mold a little bit better because he can play a little bit looser. I feel if they had Gunston, they'd just be kicking on his head. And I think his body would just get absolutely battered. But, hey, really good win by the Hawks, Jeff. They're obviously not tanking. They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck. You can't sell losing in the locker room. Like, losing's contagious. If you become a losing team, you don't know how to win. So fucking good on them. It's like Sam Mitchell can not put the talent on the park, but still coach to win a game, but they just get outclassed. They don't have the talent. But if they've got the guys out in the park and they're just going to win games, like, fucking good on them. Fuck the draft pick. Keep winning. Winning's contagious.
100%.
Carlton would pay for a win right now. All you want to do is win a game. Swans are the same. We got that lucky win against North Melbourne last week. Got the 4 points. Win's a win. Now we beat Carlton on Friday night. Like, yeah, you take wins every day of the week, no matter what.
Now, Jeb, obviously in this game, to get us started, look, he's gone under a couple of times this year, but we had Sinclair for 25 to kick off the 100K, finished with 18. So another one, Jeff, we do the work. We find out the grounds that they play well against, the teams they play well against, and the grounds they play well at, and we just get shafted. But that's all right. Back to the drawing board, Jeff.
One of the funny things, so I listened to all my podcasts on Friday, and I was listening to Kane and Kingy, who have Sam Mitchell on every week. But I was only sort of up to it as I was getting to Morgs's to do the 100K. And then after we finished the 100K and we watched the footy, and it was like 10 at night and I was driving home from Morgs's, I put it back on and Sam Mitchell's on. And they're like, Jack Sinclair, what are you going to do about Jack Sinclair? He's like, yeah, I think he had 40 on us last year, so I might be tagging him. They sort of still tag him, and we had just put the multi on, and I just heard Mitch might tag Jack Sinclair. I'm like, oh no, what do I tell the boys? Like, if I was 5 minutes later to Morgs's, I would have heard that, and it wouldn't have been a leg in the 100K. But fuck. So you give me some stats, I'll give you some odds. Like, so I got here, James Sicily paid 15-1 for 40, which is bloody delicious. That'd be nice.
Unbelievable. Did you have how much for Dylan Moore for 30?
He paid $11.50 for 30.
And he kicked a goal, which he would have been pretty short. Will Day and Newcomb for 30 as well?
Will Day was $2.70 and Newcomb was $3.80.
That's pretty good. And some goal kickers. So Luke Bruce for 3.
Luke Bruce for 3 paid $5.90. Geez, that's nice. He's a lock for 2, mate.
He's usually 2 every week. What was Max King for 4?
Max King. Geez, he's a good player. He's a good player. $3.30 for 4.
That's not too bad. And the only other one was Dan Butler for 2, but I'm sure that wouldn't be
$2.12.
Yeah, that's a bit regular. But, mate, Sicily had a fucking game. They almost said, remember the other week how I went to put on Tom Stewart for 40?
Yeah.
And he's playing a boatload?
Yeah.
Some of these half-backers, so Sicily, you can almost say, plays a similar position, almost like that quarterback. They can come off. They almost have a bit of a free license sort of to do what they want. And then obviously they love taking the kick-ins and ball in hand. So even like a Jordan Dawson, like you could scope him into that sort of role. And so that's definitely one to look at. But more and more guys want to possess the footy, and they're
Yeah.
getting a lot more touches, especially because turnovers and the game's going so quick. So definitely those defenders are a good one in the future to look for those 40 plus touches.
It's the one. So, like, yeah, as soon as you give away the ball, your team gets into a zone, and I reckon guys like Sicily, if they get it at centre back, their legs good enough to pierce the zone with a hit up sort of thing. So they just keep getting in the hands. You gotta have an arm on him. You can't just let him get 20 of uncontested easy touches. You gotta you gotta stop that stuff. All right, next game, Das. Freo Nam versus Wally Ayup. Wally Ayup.
Who's that?
Freo versus Melbourne. The Dockers get it done by 7 points on MCG in a result that no one's really surprised about. Everyone, in a way, probably saw this coming. Yeah, they just know how to beat the D's. Brayshaw and Sarong match. I don't think he didn't play. Cozzy Pickett, our boy, kicked the first ass. Did you watch any of this game?
Yeah, I did. Now, Jeff, we did say it was a danger game, and for some reason, and we could go back and listen to the roast after the first 3 weeks, and we're just like, Freo are a terrible side. Like,
Yeah,
we watched them get absolutely bathed against Brisbane. They weren't moving the footy, and they are completely different. Like, they're just coming through, they're just kicking goals, and they're fucking running so hard. Luke Jackson, Jeb, we're thinking about putting him in the multi for a goal, but we're like, oh, he's a ruckman, and like maybe he doesn't kick one this week because he's been out of his skin. Definitely went back and kicked another goal, so we probably should have had him in there. Jai Miss was unbelievable, Jeb.
yeah,
Kicked
he's a good
3 goals.
player.
Old Dead-Eye Jai.
Yeah,
He was unbelievable. But watching the game, and even though it was low scoring, you know how they have the pressure gauge?
yeah.
Both teams were in the top part of the elite the entire game.
Right, so just putting on a bucket load of
And
pressure
then,
all over
and
the
then
field.
watching it, I'm like, even though it's low scoring, I'm like, this is actually a really good game to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
when they put that on, you're like, no wonder, because sometimes the low scoring games seem like really scrappy.
yeah.
This wasn't the case. The pressure was on heaps. Yeah, the midfielders went to work, but at the end, Freo just had some really big plays down the stretch where they intercept the ball. Hayden Young had one. Luke Jackson had one over Gorn. They didn't blaze away coming inside the forward line and like just got some on the end of some really good plays. But I do not know where the fuck we put the votes in this game, Jeb. I know watching it, you probably have to give it to a couple of the Freo guys. Like Luke Jackson was incredible.
Yeah.
Sarong and Brayshaw was really good. But Petrarca was still the highest rated player on the ground. I know he still did a lot, but I genuinely was trying to take my bias hat off because obviously I'm invested in Petrarca. But I genuinely don't know where the votes are going in this
Yeah.
game.
Yep. See, I saw Fife in the midfield a bit.
Yeah, no, his last 2 weeks have been awesome.
Yeah, so he's had 20 touches on the ball, only 4 kicks, but 16 handballs. What did he pay the Fife for 20? Only $1.90. So he's looks like. So I saw after the game, and George Clark said on the Sunday Footy Show this morning, it was the leaders sitting down with John, what's his name, Justin Longmuir or whatever, and they told him we've got to change the game plan a bit. And they, the leaders, I think it would have been Brayshaw and probably Sarong and a few, and they sat down with him and they said, got to change the way we play. And then it started at the Gabba against Brisbane when they ended up getting beaten pretty easily, but you could see they were trying to play a different way.
Yeah.
And since then, they've been a good side. They took care of the Cats, they took care of the Swans, now they've taken care of the D's on the MCG. This is the side we all thought they were going to be at the start of the year when people were addicted them to be like 4th, 5th, around there. Here they come, and then you start thinking like Brayshaw or Sarong are as good as any duo in the league. Like, good on them.
Well, they finally had games like Schultz didn't have his best game up forward. Bailey Banfield is usually in and out. Sometimes he's a sub, but he can definitely kick goals. And then they came through, Jeff. They had Josh Tracy.
Yeah.
He came on as the sub, and I've only seen him once or twice in a game. He came out. He was in the goal square because he then had to go into the ruck when Sean Darcy went out. What is he? 195 centimetres. He's only 20.
Yeah.
He was sitting in the forward line, the square, and just pointed to the spot. Came up full stretch, took an unreal pack mark, went back, kick a goal. So he could be that person that they need up forward because they haven't really had that, like Matt Tabernar's done. But Jai Miss looks really good as well, Jeff.
Yeah, we were critical on their key forwards earlier in the year on the roast, weren't we, Das? But watching Jai Miss kick 3 at $4.80 for 3, just watching him come along, like he's only a 19, 20-year-old kid. he'll be a good player. He'll definitely be a good player. You know, if they keep Sean Darcy and they keep Luke Jackson, and Luke Jackson keeps, you know, I think he's only 21 himself or 22 himself. Like those guys, Sarong and Brayshaw, they're all going to grow together and play the next 6 years of footy together.
Joymus is only 19.
Yeah, exactly. We'll
He's
probably
not
be harsh on the Freo forwards early in the year.
He was pick 8.
Yeah,
So, like, he's going to come through. He's going to be a really good player.
he's a good player.
But the D's, they fucking they're lucky they banked some wins early.
David King said during the week they were a bit of pixie dust, the D's. He said they're beating up on the shit sides and they're not beating the good sides and starting to show a little bit. Like,
well, we all thought they were going to beat the Bombers, and they got leveled out by them.
A lot of people thought they'd beat Port Adelaide last week. They got smashed. Well, not smashed, but they got done by Zach Butters. Freo this week at home, that's a game. You just got to win those. I know Freo are good, but a team that people think are going to be playing in the grand final just handle those wins, don't they?
I know I probably shouldn't be saying this, but it genuinely makes this week so much more intriguing. Melbourne Carlton.
No Clary. It's just you just got to be nervous about his Cripps going to be playing with his.
Yeah, probably not. But we're at full strength. We're at full strength, Jeff.
You have to beat them, don't you? Yeah. If you can't beat them this week, what day is it? What day? What game?
Friday night.
Friday night, MCG.
Another Friday night game. Yeah. Oh my God, they're $1.40 worth. $2.99.
If you can't beat them and they've got no Clary, it's going to start. It'll be coaching. Like you'll just see the coaching discrepancy because you match up with them well. Like you should go head to head with them. I reckon this will be one of those games you'll sort of see that you guys just aren't coached well enough if you can't beat them.
We're fucking pumped.
Are you going to the G?
No.
You're sick of them. You're sick of those counts.
I'm not going in at that time and then coming home late. Every 50 game on a Friday, get fucked.
Next game, Geelong GWS down at GMHBA. Sir Toby Green's 200th dart, and GWS handled Geelong a big old L down in Geelong. I absolutely loved watching this game. The Giants win by 7 points. Did you watch much of this game?
You know what's funny? Obviously, I took the Giants plus points. We both really liked them because the $1.30 for Geelong would have been minus 18, and we'd rather give GWS a heap of points. They were actually saying before the game, which I wish I knew, it was like GWS have actually, I think, won the last two.
Yeah, they're 3 on the trot at GMHBA Stadium.
They won 2019, 2021, and then obviously yesterday.
That's unbelievable.
Wow. I genuinely couldn't believe it. But Jeff, Toby Green and Binger Daniels, they both had themselves a game. Binger's having a good season. Brent
Daniels.
He's good.
Watching the commentary in the last quarter, you saw David King. David King obviously loved him because they look alike. They look so much alike. Every time I see it on screen, I'm like, they are identical twins. But David King was sort of saying, like he talks about him like he talked about Isaac Rankin and stuff. Every time the Giants had a forward 50 stoppage, he's just like, get your eyes on Brent Daniels here. He's the man. And he did this stoppage where he like lulled his opponent to sleep, like pretended he wasn't in the contest, then exploded, ended up kicking the goal. And Kingy showed the replay. He's like, have a look at that. Like he put his opponent to sleep, acted like he was out of the play, bang, picked it up, kicked the goal. And he's like, that man is a seriously good player. I'm like, he fucking is. Everything he touches turns to gold dust.
Yeah, no, he's been a fucking good player this year. He's only had a couple games where he hasn't kicked a goal, but as a small forward, I think he's the number one in the AFL inside 50 tackles, which is a massive stat as a small forward. I can tell you for a fact, Carlton would have Durden and Motlop in the bottom 100 in the AFL. You know, there's no pressure there. Binger Daniels keeps it in there, but Toby is. I know we spoke about it a few weeks ago, but I have him as the third best small forward of all time at the moment. Obviously, his career's not done. It's Milne, Betts, Toby Green.
Yeah.
That's it. Like you can't argue with me. The fact what that man does is a small and he can play big. He can sit on your head. He can kick goal from anywhere. You watch the goals he kicked the other day. Out of his ass, keeps the strength, keeps the drop zone free. That goal from 50, just being able to push out, play on at the right time, have two players come in, almost smother it, and then almost clear the fence from 50. Yeah. There's nothing that he can't do. Like his bag is unlimited.
Watching him, you just got to go like. So, like, I saw people this week bring up, like, is he the best player in the AFL? And like his best it can be, but you just go, if he was 6'4", if he was like Nick Rewalt size or fucking Charlie Curnow size, he could be the best player of all time. Like, he is unbelievable for a bloke that's probably, I think he's only 5'10", 5'11", maybe 6 foot on the dot. He is unbelievable, does. Strong as fuck. He kicks goals like Wayne Carey. He was like Wayne Carey yesterday. He just puts the responsibility on his shoulder, goes back from 50 and just kicks it straight through the middle over the fence.
What is
4
he?
first half goals. They tackled the shit out of the Cats all day, the Giants yesterday, and it's his leadership. It's his work rate. He works his fucking ass off for everything he does.
It's definitely made him a better player.
Yeah.
Like them giving him the captaincy from round one against that win against Adelaide, where he just put the team on his back. But as you said, Jeff, he's 182 centimeters, 85 kilos, which is still pretty heavy for that size. But he can do everything inside forward 50.
Oh, he was fucking unbelievable.
A great win by the Giants. I'm so happy.
Yeah, so am I. We absolutely love watching the Giants. They've got some serious talent on that team. I don't know why they were. Maybe Kingsley's just trying to drill down the way he wants them to play, and it's taken them a couple of weeks, and now they're starting to get going. They're starting to figure it out.
You know
what was sensational.
You know who I forgot played for him? Toby Bedford. Remember he played for Melbourne?
Yeah.
Last year, and he had some unbelievable games. Like, as a forward, and he was just kicking goals. Like, who the fuck is this guy? And then he got shipped down, went to GWS. I remember watching him yesterday. I'm like, I completely forgot that he went to the Giants. So, like, that's just a good another little pickup for them. But Hogan, Jev, obviously missed out on his 2 yesterday. Cadman, he's really struggled to get into it. Only the 4 touches yesterday, but he's done. Like, when he gets it. He looks a bit dangerous in front of goal, but he just needs a little bit more delivery.
He's starting to fly. You can see he's starting to read the ball a bit better in the air, and he flies at a few more balls. He's getting his hands to a few more balls. It'll click. He'll be a good player. Like, he's an 18-year-old key forward. It's bloody hard when you come up with back lines and guys like Tom Stewart are on you and stuff. So Toby Green kicks 4. He pays, I'll get the odds up. Toby Green paid $6.75 for 4. Jeez, that's nice. Brent Daniels kicked 3. He paid $9.25 for 3. And then Jake Riccardi kicked 3. I swear they were all in the last quarter.
He had 1 in the first quarter and then
18-1 for 3. Oh God, they were good. And Jeremy Cameron had a patch where he absolutely dominated this game, but even the champ himself missed a few easy set shots, didn't he? He had about a 10-minute stage where he was dominating the game and he missed set shots. He kicks in his sleep usually, and he ends up with 2 goals, 3, and he probably nearly cost the Cats the game, to be honest. When they were coming, he should have kicked them. He was unbelievable. 2 goals, 17 touches. What did Whitfield pay? So Stewart had 30, Whitfield had 30. I'll see what they paid for 30. That's why I'm here.
GWS midfielders, Jev, just lock them up for touches. They get it every week.
They all get it, don't they? So Stewart paid $4 for 30. Whitfield, he's in good form, Lockie Whitfield.
Yeah.
He paid only $2.35 for 30. So that was a good game. Lockie Ash had 25. We had him in the 100K last week for 25. He only had 20. He has 25 this week. That's how it happens usually, isn't it, Dust?
100%.
So the Cats are in trouble. What's their record? They are 5-5, I think.
They're on 20 points.
Yeah, they're 5-5 after 10. 5 wins, 6 losses. Yeah, they're in trouble.
100%.
They can't, if they want to go back to back, they got to start winning games. And teams like GWS are 1 game behind them, just beat them. Adelaide are on 20 points, who are playing right now.
You know what's
a good game?
I was going to
Gold
say
Coast on 20 points.
Well, we rate Adelaide, and they're 10th.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I rate them so much, and they're 10th. It's going to be hard. Like, Freo have worked their ass off to get back in the A. Credit to them.
Hope Adelaide win this one.
Next game, Gold Coast versus the Dogs. The Suns win by 7 points in what looked like a fucking good game of what I watched us. Did you watch much of this game?
Nah, only the highlights, Chev, but we're just so happy, our man. We've said it so many times, Chev. Matty Rao.
Yes.
He sleeps with a brick under his head. You know what he has for cereal? Just a bowl of rusty nails, and a bit of gasoline on top of that. This man, every time he gets out on the grass, he must have loved the taste of that grass at TIO at Northern Territory. They get 2 weeks up there. They've actually got the Crows there next week. But the outside game that we have been praying for this man, we've been praying for it, and he has delivered the last couple of weeks, Jeff. 22 kicks. That's what we want to see
Yes.
from Matty Rao. 29 disposals and hitting that scoreboard. He's unbelievable,
How
Jeff.
many clearances he had? He had a fuckload of clearances. 23 contested possessions, which is a lot, and 16 clearances. That's a big game.
He's
Noah Anderson.
He's
So
a fucking
this is what I
machine.
love. It's what I love about the Gold Coast. So Stewie Dew came on SEN with Tim and Gary, and I think I said this story a couple of weeks ago on the race. But he said when they got to Old Carey Grammar, they were the worst team in the whatever league they're in, the ACS or whatever it's fucking called. And they watched and they grew and they ended up winning the championship by the time they left. And then so when they played Oliver and Petrarca, they fucking beat them that day, but they didn't win the game. Now they come up against Bont and Libba. And then, Rao had 29. Anderson had 26. He had 7 clearances himself. And how many contested possessions did he have? 17 contested possessions. Like, they look at to the two best and they go, nah, we're better. We're going head to head. We back ourselves. They kept Libba to 15 touches. Bont had 27. And Rao and Anderson, like, sort of got the chocolates. Like, you can tell they're going to be fucking good. You can tell it's. I thought it was going to be this year. Maybe it's going to be next year. They're going to explode onto the scene.
They have to. I hope they keep Stewie Dew. There's all the talk about Dimmer Hardwick going up there, but it seems like the players like you see them all giving him a massive hug after the game. So
Yeah.
he's obviously he almost seems like a real father figure. Like he really gets around and at the end of the day, sometimes like they don't. If you look at their list, yeah, they've got some really good talent, but you wouldn't say they're the deepest club of all time, would you? And that's why when they're losing these games, it's I feel the message is there, but it's just they don't have the cattle to get them over the line. But Jeff, bit of a coming out game for Bailey Humphrey. So he was pick 6.
Yeah.
So he was a Gippsland power boy. Obviously went up and kicked a really good goal in the back end of the game. But Melbourne wanted to move up to get this kid,
Right. So
Bailey Humphrey. Like they tried to get him and they couldn't. So
I heard someone call him Dustin Humphrey or something. He's got a bit of Dustin Martin about him. Apparently.
He's 186 centimeters, 86 kilos, Jeb. So he's the same size as Toby Green.
Yeah.
Young kid, as we obviously mentioned. Obviously, it's his first year, but pick 6, Jeb. And yeah, so highly rated. This is the last year's draft's actually a really good draft. But he had a really good game. I absolutely love Gold Coast to win again this week, even though I rate Adelaide. But it's where you play them.
Yeah.
So I can see Adelaide still getting over the top of Brisbane tonight.
Yeah.
But then TIO Stadium, they're good in the heat.
Yeah.
The Suns.
What about this? So the Dogs kicked the first 3 goals of this game. I sort of watched this part of it. Then Adelaide, what's it called? The Suns got back into it. It was 4 goals to 4 goals. The quarter time siren went to us. Then the start of the second, Lukosius goal, Lukosius goal, Lukosius goal, Lukosius goal. He kicked the only 4 goals in the second quarter.
Yeah, I'd written down. So yeah, the Bulldogs had the first 20 points of the game. Then Gold Coast went on a 51-9 run to finish off the half.
It's unbelievable. He kicked 4 goals on his own in the second quarter. Ended up with 5 for the game. What did he pay for 5? I have to go have a look at this. Fucking what a game! This is the Suns we want to see. All these young blokes growing together, winning together. So he paid 71-1 for 5 darts. You're kidding. He paid 19-1 for 4. So his second quarter alone, you got 19-1. Matty Rao paid $4 for a snag. Jamari, what I was watching, Jamari was playing very well. He paid $6.25 for 3. Jack McRae 33, Rao 29. No touches that are absolutely crazy there. Humphrey 1 goal and 19. Just a great win by the Suns. We're bloody wrapped for them.
100%. That's a good contested game.
Yeah, next game, West Coast versus the Bombers. The Bombers beat the by 50 points. We sort of had this on at the footy club where we were, Das, having a bit of a look at it. Basically watching Tip and Woody, who was moving like the Titanic. Oh, Tipper. Oh, he didn't even want the ball at the end. We have him for a goal in the 100K, and we know the 100K already had X's. But, God, this was hard to watch as a bloke that had some financial investment in Tipper. Bombers just get it done. what I saw was just Kyle Langford absolutely dominating this game, Das. Yeah, what else?
I just couldn't believe that we checked later. I thought Stringer would have licked his lips in this contest, but he didn't.
He only
I
kicked
thought
one, didn't he?
he only kicked the one. Look, there's not really to touch on. Your man, Jev, he had a good game. But I'll tell you what, Bombers have to make the 8. I had them at the start of my year in the preseason predictions when I went through all the games, and it gives you obviously the spit out at the end. And I could believe I had the Bombers. I think I had them finishing 7th or 8th. And then you go through, and I've re-looked at the rest of their draw, but they versed North twice, and they versed West Coast twice.
Yeah, it's as soft as it gets, isn't it?
So look, they probably aren't the best, one of the top 8 sides. Like they might push out someone like a GWS or an Adelaide.
Yeah, but
And
credit to them, they keep winning games.
they
You can
do.
see they know they're well coached. Who have they got? They got Brad Scott. They're well coached. You can see they've guys like Mason Redmond. Mason Redmond's like he's taking his game to another level. He's a good player. I like watching Mason Redmond. Kyle Langford's taking his game to another level. Wiedemann's found a new home. Like he looked lost at Melbourne. Now he's become a real good player.
How many goals? Sorry, how many goals does Mason Redmond kick for a defender?
Yeah, all set up.
We said that the other night. He fucking kicks one every week.
Yeah, he kicked one and had 31. That's another good game.
Pretty sure he kicked a goal from the goal square.
He's a free agent at the end of the year. He could be worth an absolute fortune. You couldn't even back him for a goal.
No, you usually can't because he's a defender.
Yeah, what did he pay for 30 touches? Mason Redmond, $4.90 for 30. Yeah, he was really good. He's a good player. Liam Duggan, Jaden Hunt, 35 and 34. Zach Merritt, 32. He was $1.43 or something for 30. Just good. Essendon just had to get over there and handle business, and they did. Can't talk about this game too much. West Coast are a deplorable football side, and
shit.
I did sort of see. I saw Elliot Yeo was back out there, and he looked like he had his like big body mid back. I saw him shaking tackles, hitting ground balls and running through them. So they'll be happy to get him back, but I can't see him winning a game anytime soon.
Nah.
Next today, Richmond versus Port. Port win by 10 points. Did you call this from a mile away that Port would win this game?
Yeah, I just thought that the line 2.5. I just thought, look, obviously the only thing that swayed me to the Richmond way was the new coach syndrome.
Yeah,
they always usually win, but I think Port are going a bit better than Richmond at this stage. Richmond still don't have Lynch, and Port Adelaide, the line was only 2.5, so I thought that they were going to win that. Obviously, a little bit closer than what I thought, only winning by 10 points in the end. Shy Bolton kicked the first snag at $12. Jev, Zach Butters, when you're in form, you're in form. All right, he had 32 and a goal, and some of the stuff he was doing from the back line was unbelievable. Taranto kicked 4, which I'll touch on in a second. Dusty, the only other multiple goal scorer on the game with 2. That was at $1.96, which is pretty good. But Timmy Taranto, Jev, I know, say what you want about his disposal. He has had one of the more consistent seasons. Now, before, if you looked at all, like, obviously the stats in the game in the AFL and what the product is now, that's what makes it what it is. And we can overanalyze and look at all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't feel if it was 8-10 years ago, you might think that he's winning the Brownlow.
Yeah.
Because you're not really diving into where the touch is going, and they're not diving in. If you're like, fuck, you look at his whole season as numbers, you're like, fuck, 30, 30, 30, 28, 28, 28. He constantly gets his hands on it, and that's one of the things that you want. You want to have someone that can actually find the footy, which he does. So he had 33, Jev, and 4. For 30 touches, Jev, paid around $2. Have a guess what he paid for 4?
50?
81.
Oh, God. He kicked one after the siren, basically, to kick his 4th. What a performance. 33 and 4. I reckon there's only fucking 10 players in the league that can have 33 and 4.
So at the start of the year, that's what they were really looking at him for, that more
goal kicking, clearance beast and a scoreboard mid, yeah.
Which he did in all his preseason games. He kicked 3 or 4 in 2 of them. But no, really good to see him finally hit the score. I don't think he kicked a goal for his first 8 games.
Yeah. He's kicked 7 goals in his last 4 weeks, and he's averaging 31 touches on the year,
He finds it.
He's a gun. Kane Corn said he wasn't in the top 150 players in the league. He was sensational. So good on him. He's just getting better as the season's going on. Crows just kicked a goal to hit the front. This is going to be a good finish to us. We're going to have to finish this pod and watch the last quarter.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, no, just a good win by Port, Jev. They're sitting pretty, so they're playing finals. They're
Same.
playing finals.
We say it every week. Ken Hinkley's just got them winning games. They just come out and they get the 4 points. Doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter how ugly it is, how pretty it is, who kicks the goals, who gets the touches. Yeah, so they've had Burn Jones, Finlayson, Burton, Drew, Ollie Lord, Horn Francis, Zach Butters, McEntee, Mead, Wines. All kick one goal. No multiple goal kickers. Just everyone kicked a goal. Everyone did what they had to do to get 4 points for Port Adelaide. So good on them.
Well, they're definitely winning one of their next three. So they got the Hawks, then they've got the Dogs, then they got the Cats, and then they got the bye.
So that's funny. Swans have the bye this week. They still play 3 more till the bye.
So they're winning one of them.
I reckon they're winning 2. They might run out of gas a little bit. Yeah.
Minimum one, you come into the bye on 40 points, you're making finals.
Yeah. Coming to the bye. So, 9 and 2. So they've got 3 games. So they'll be at least 10 and 4. They're playing finals. They're playing finals. Good on them. I'm happy for them. We were harsh on them. They get it done. Good on them. Next game, Collingwood, North Melbourne. Pies win by 35 points, and at 3/4 time looked like it was going to be a bit of a blowout, but North showed a bit in the last quarter. Who kicked the first in this game?
Josh Dacos.
Josh Dacos kicked the first.
$34, Jev.
Geez, that would have been nice to have a little slice at.
He kicks a goal almost every week.
Every week, 3 in the game. 4 still side bottoms, 300th. We had him in the 100K for 20 and a goal. We had it all in the Discord. We really liked him to have a big game. He does his knee in about 10 minutes, gets subbed out. So poor bloke. He's obviously happy. I don't know how bad it is or anything, but that's just a void it was in the end. Did you watch much of this game?
I watched bits and pieces of it. And, Jev, I just really want to know how many votes Jordan De Goey is taking off Nick Dacos.
I called it a couple of weeks. I don't think Nick Dacos win the Brownlow because I think Jordan De Goey's having just as good as a year as him.
Mate, he's like, as a midfielder, he's averaging, well, the stats will come out soon, but he's averaging over a goal a game, and he's averaging like 25 touches now, maybe.
Joshua Scully just kicked the best fucking goal. Sorry. Yeah.
Mate, he's having an unbelievable set. They're just rolling. They're looking fucking unbelievable at the moment.
About sitting pretty coming into a bye.
Oh, they're just... And they still haven't played a lot of the bottom sides.
I know. They still haven't played West Coast, Hawthorn or North... Oh, they played North Melbourne today. They're looking that good.
Jesus, they're good.
Yeah, so De Goey's had... So he's missed 1 game. So he's played 10... So he's averaging 25 touches and he's kicked 10... 25 touches and a goal on the season.
Yeah, well, this is last few weeks, Jev. So today he had 35 and 1. Then he had 27 and no goals. 31 and 1. 17 and 1. 24. 28 and 2. 21, 35, 25. Mate, he's been unbelievable.
You can see he's fit. He's as fit as he's ever been. Like,
they all look so fit, Collingwood.
Yeah, so
and teams that just look like they break down. These Pies don't look like a team that are breaking down at all.
Do they? They do not. So Nick Larkey kicks 5 second half snags. What did he pay for 5 stars?
23.
He can be a seriously good player. He's just got to get some consistency in his game. But it's hard to get fucking consistency when your team aren't consistent. Your midfield isn't consistent. You actually don't know what North Melbourne are producing every week. So it's hard for a forward to be consistent. But 5 against the top of the tree. Everyone talks about how good Darcy Moore, Nathan Murphy, Braden Maynard and stuff are. Like, good on him for kicking 5. They showed a bit in the last quarter. Josh Dacos kicked 3. What did he pay for 3, Das?
You can only get him for 2 at 9.45.
9.45. That would have been nice. Nick Dacos, another 32 and 1. Bailey Scott, at 30 and a goal. He's gone back-to-back 30-touch games. What did he pay for 30 and a goal?
For 30, he was... 30... Bailey Scott. He was... You can't even get him for 30.
25?
Yeah. Bailey Scott. He was... Scrolling down. Bailey Scott. No, he's not even there for 25.
Jesus, he's blowing the bookies out of the water.
Yeah.
This was a real... Tom Mitchell had 29 touches and was the 4th highest rated player on the ground. He was really good around the street.
How good's Tommy Mitchell?
Him and Scott Pendlebury Oh, geez, they just run the game out there. They just do what they want. And
So the Pies are who do we have to say? Because obviously we can't touch on the Adelaide game too much. So teams that can definitely win the flag. Pies,
yep,
you give Port Adelaide, yes.
yep. Brisbane,
Well,
yep,
definite. Brisbane, yes. Melbourne,
yes. Just St Kilda, probably not.
no. That has to be top four, doesn't it?
West Coast, so Western Bulldogs, I can see them winning the flag. Bombers, no. Freo, no. Geelong, I'm still going to say yes. And then the Crows are sort of where you draw the line after that.
Yeah, I love the Crows. They're just.
Same.
I couldn't believe when I checked today and they were 10th.
Yeah, they're 15 points up on the lines right now at three-quarter time. They're hard to beat at home. If they close this game out, fucking good on them. It's bloody hard to beat the Lions. How many? I think they've only got 2 losses for the season, so
And they fucking hate playing at Adelaide.
they hate playing Adelaide, and I don't think they like playing in Melbourne either.
No.
Yeah, last game of the thing is this game we're watching that's three-quarter time as we speak. Adelaide versus the Lions. Who kicked the first?
Luke Pedler, $16.
Your man, Lukey Pedler. Josh O'Shea just kicked an absolute snag at three-quarter time. Rory Laird has 24. Jordan Dawson, 23. Ben Keys, 21. 3 highest touches on the field. When Laird and Dawson get going, they are a seriously good midfield duo.
How consistent's Dawson?
Oh, if they win this, it could be another 3 votes for him. I don't know if the Sharks watch him, but I'll be very interested if he gets another 3 in this game.
Well, I really want to know where the votes are going because I just went through the Sharks Brownlow votes from the other day, and he had Dobe on like 10 or 11 votes, so he probably gets 3 today.
So he goes to 14.
And Dacos will probably get 1 or 2.
I think Josh will get the 2. Josh Dacos kicking 3.
Does Nick get 1?
And then does Larky get 1 or does Nick get 1? But even I thought watching Tom Mitchell was unbelievable. Do the umpires look at stats or do they?
I actually don't know.
Can't remember. If they look at stats, you see 1 goal, 32 touches. Nick Dacos, he's brilliant to watch. He's a beautiful looking footballer out there, so he probably gets a vote. But
that's why I genuinely think Tim will get so many Brownlow votes.
Yeah, if you actually don't know.
Like, when you're not over-analysing it, you're like, fuck, he's got another clearance.
Yeah, he just gets the pill in his hand. Yeah, I agree. So, fuck, we'll see. We will see.
All right, big finish coming up. Go the Crows.
Three-quarter time.
I can't believe the Saints did my fucking multi. The Crows plus 30.
It's going to be a hard show without you this week, Dallas.
Oh.
We'll have to work something. I'll do one show and we'll have to work something out. Maybe when you get back from Bali, we'll have to loan you $100 or something and see if you can bring it back from the dead.
I'll go live from the Y Sports Bar.
I got a message from Pricey, our super coach, Frank Coach Man. He said, "Who the hell put McDonald, Tip and Woody in 100K?" I said, "That was me." He's like, "You might need a spell." So he's calling me to be dropped from the 100K multi. So we might need to get Pricey, Stoy and yourself on us, or the Shark and Morgs, and I might need a spell.
No, mate. I like the tipper leg.
Yeah.
West Coast is shit.
I know. But watch it. I'll never bet on him again. Watching him play last night was hard to watch. He, if they make finals, he will not be in that 22. I can guarantee it.
He's heavier than a prime Stewie Jew. He's heavier than Stewie Jew now.
Oh, he could not now. Not Stewie Jew now. Apparently Stewie Jew goes surfing. I'm like, when?
Does he have a crane?
Oh, God. All right. See you, mate.
All right, see you, brother.
Good work. Hang on. Starting. Yeah. Bye.